Next game, Philly at Washington. After this game, and with the 49ers losing, is it clear cut that Philly is the best team in the league?
Well, I was saying last week. It's helping my narrative from last week. I was like saying I'm certain that, because here's my thing too with the Eagles. It's showing every single week now. You know, especially if you're a Eagles fan, you know this, right? Jalen is not all the way. Like, you can see it. He's not all the way there. He's hurting a little bit. He's kind of like, but he's laboring, but he's strong. He's strong-willed. He says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go out here. I'm still fighting." Like, especially when I know we can win a Super Bowl right now. It's exactly what's happening, and they very much so can go win a Super Bowl this year, just like they could have last year. And it's like, yeah, I mean, the Eagles, they are the team to me for sure. The veteran O-line, the veteran D-line, just stars everywhere. You just got Kevin Byard. I mean, it's got to be the Eagles.
I think it has to be the Eagles too. And here's the thing: is like, they kept this game close against the Commanders, but I will say this: like, I find it really hard to talk about the Eagles because it's like they just do what everyone expects to do. I mean, AJ Brown has been unbelievable this year, but
breaking records for most consecutive 125-plus yard games. I mean, it's just, what?
And then you have Devonta Smith, and then DeAndre Swift has been playing well. Obviously not as crazy as he was earlier, but still well. Unless you have anything else to say on the Eagles, I think like the focus of this game is really on the Commanders.
No, nothing more about the Eagles other than Julio Jones. Touchdown?
Okay, Julio.
Hey, that was, you gotta love it. And last thing I'll just say before we move on to the Commanders is like, if the Eagles, if they were to pull it off this year, you know, the Eagles are one of those those teams where it's like you've already seen them win it. And if you don't have any ties to them, Philly fans, you know, it's like, there's not much redeeming factor to hold on to something from a team like Philly where you can't really root for them. What I'll say is this, hear me out. If you're another fan base, if the Eagles win it, as every other fan base, we can say we saw Julio win a ring, and that's what I said I'm gonna hold on to. So I'm like, you know what? If the Eagles pull it off and Julio wins his ring, all right, whatever.
I'd be okay with that.
That would be like the redeeming silver lining for everybody else.
I'd be okay with that. Just talking about the Commanders. I mean, Sam Howell, 397 yards, 4 touchdowns. He threw the ball 52 yards. The Commanders' run game really is not that existent. I mean, B-Rob had 10 for 59 yards, which was 5.9 yards per carry. But, I mean, Jahan Dotson had a game. Crowder had a game. McLaurin. That's the thing about Howell is he spreads the ball out pretty well. He's got 2,100 yards this year, 13 touchdowns. Like, definitely a guy I think like that can grow. And I think his ceiling is like really, really high just because he's so talented.
No, if you're a Commanders fan, you got to be saying to yourself, and you should be saying to yourself, this is the guy for at least the next few years. Like, we're definitely going to surround this guy, see what we got for sure in this guy, and we're going to try
get him
to let this guy, let this guy take us. We're going to definitely let him have a shot, right, to be the guy. You got to. He's definitely got a lot of really good intangibles, a lot of great traits. I mean, shit. The man has 2 games in the past 4 weeks. He's thrown for over 385 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's not something you can say about most guys in the league right now. No. That's not something you can say about, actually, I don't believe anyone else. So
he's got a cannon.
He's letting it sling. He's getting confident.
Yeah.
He's getting in the offense. That's the thing, too. A guy who's young like Howell, first 2 weeks, you can't expect fireworks. But now that he's getting used to the system and you're seeing fireworks, trust me, you should be licking your chops as a Commanders fan. This is where if it's going to start happening, and it's going to start happening consistently, it really could start happening consistently where you're going to be like, oh, it's another week you just threw over 300. Oh, my goodness, it's another one. That's not. Oh, wait, is this the norm?
It just doesn't happen, yeah.
It could be. With the way he's developing right now and the rate he is, it could be. Again, I could be jumping the gun. I could look like a jackass in a couple weeks. But I'm just saying in terms of could be. Yeah, he for sure could be leaping into that 250 plus, 300 plus yards weeks pretty consistently with how he's looking in this offense.
Yeah,
and that receiving core. I mean, just give the man a line. Get a new. Unfortunately, it's true. Ron Rivera's on the outs.
Yeah, he's
get a new coach. Get a new system in place. It's a little bit like you control the ball a little more. The defense is playing better. Sam Howell's got he's got a chance to lead them far in the next few years. Just a matter of what they do around him.
They've played 8 games, and about half of them, there's two he threw for 397, 388, and then there was another game he threw for 299 and 290. So basically half the games this year he's throwing for 300 yards. Like, that really good, especially for basically a first-year quarterback.
Oh, that's the thing. Exactly. I'm looking at him as a rookie. I know he's not, but that's how I'm going to look at him this year from an evaluation standpoint.
Do you have anything left to say on this game, or do you
Just-
want to move on?
Hey, Jahan Dotson, finally
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
8 receptions, 108 yards, a touchdown. Scary Terry with the crucial drop for the L. That's tough.
Brutal.
But it's, again, with a great receiver like Terry, it gets magnified. But it's like something like, lesser receivers do a lot. It's kind of like you just got to appreciate the man for what he does. And it's bound to happen. It's like.
The balls weren't that great, though.
Exactly. He had to throw it low. He threw it low, and it went a little too low. And Terry can't, he can't make every play. It happens. Last thing I want to say, too, is, how much worse is this defense going to look without Chase or Montez Sweat? Chase,
I don't know.
Chase Young, Montez Sweat. One of them's probably going to be dealt next day here?
Yeah, within the next 24 hours.
So, if that does happen, it's like how much worse this defense is going to be.
I don't know. Their D-line is so good anyway.
That's true, but it's like, if anything, I want to say worse. How about more inconsistent?
Yeah, okay. That's fair.